Ayo, as I was chilling majestically on my Cygnus chair, being a level 290 Supreme Gamer, I was debating. Oh no, I was debating. Okay, I can't be serious. I was debating what this episode was gonna be about, and I did take a look at my inventory here, and yeah, I have a 22-star Eternal Shoulder, which you might have missed. I don't blame you. This was quite tucked away a couple of episodes ago in the Moshuan episode, and that's why I wanted to specifically talk about this item here in this video. And this item is really bad. I gotta say, it's really bad, and I kind of screwed myself over. And in order to prevent you from doing the same, we're gonna talk about this bad item. But in order to understand why this is so bad, let's just take a look at my other Eternals, right? The Eternal Head can only be claimed from Kalos. It's 17 stars. Top and bottom, both 19 stars, can be claimed by Kalos and Kaling. And then we have my Eternal Shoulder, 22 stars, can only be claimed by Kaling. So, going into this, into upgrading Eternals, my thought process was, I'm gonna upgrade the boss specific items first before I upgrade the common items. That kinda made sense to me. But I got some new info. And like I said, that new info is the Eternal Shoulder is absolutely terrible. The stats on this bad boy here just aren't good enough to warrant really going for this item. And later down the road, you are even going to be replacing it. So let's check out the details. First of all, what item did this replace? It did replace the Arcane Shoulder, and voila! What's happening here? You see, the Arcane Shoulder would be an attack power loss, but a combat power gain? A combat power gain? Really? From an item that is so old, not meta anymore, so easily obtainable in comparison? How can this item be this close, and why is the combat power even better? What? If we compare the raw stats, you can see the all stats are, 30 more on the Eternal Shoulder, and the Eternal Shoulder has 22 more attack, which explains the attack power loss that I would have by equipping the Arcane Shoulder. But why would I gain combat power then, right? You might not know this, but boss damage is kind of inflated when it comes to the combat power calculation. So boss damage does play a huge role when it comes to determining your combat power. And if you check out the Arcane set a bonus that I lost here by equipping the Eternal Shoulder, it will be obvious why it's a combat power gain or loss, depending from which side you're looking at this problem. So let's take a look at the set bonus here. I gave up the 5 set Arcane bonus, right? I have 3 set pieces equipped right now and the Genesis weapon, which means now I'm at 4 set. The 5 set that I did lose is 40 attack and 10% boss damage. What kind of stats did I gain from the set effect alone by equipping the Eternal Shoulder? I did gain 40 attack and 20% ID. So I did exchange 20% ID for 10% boss damage. And this might be a little class dependent, right? I know Kanas need more ID because they don't have as much natively built into their kit. I think the same is true for Cannoneer. But for most classes, they would rather want the boss damage. With that being said, why am I wearing the Eternal Shoulders right now? And I asked my Maple Scouter about it. And my Maple Scouter said, if I'm solo bossing and I don't get ID from any other source, The 20% ID is actually better than the 10% boss damage. But here's the thing. As soon as I enter, for example, my colors party, which has a bishop, or any other party play where a class is present that either, debuffs the defense or just straight up gives me ID, the arcane shoulder becomes better again. Oof, that is absolutely horrendous. I hate it so much, actually. Dude, it's unbelievable how much I hate it, right? Because this is the new item, this is the new big thing. And I can't even, confidently wear this item. And it gets it gets so much worse, right? Because now imagine you're kind of where I am and you start to run Limbo, right? Limbo gives me the pieces that I can exchange for the Eternal Gloves, Cape, and Shoe. And here we kind of find the next challenge. So let's just assume, and I have to get off my chair for this, this Wings of Fate, or these Wings of Fate right here, are an Eternal Cape, right? Of course, I would love to equip them, but see what happens to my Arcane set effect. Not only did I lose the Force set, I also lost the Free set effect here. Why is that? Because the Genesis weapon's lucky effect only works when I have at least 3 set items equipped. And yeah, I would lose a combined 35 plus 30 attack, which is 65 attack, 10 ID and 10 boss damage. And I would gain 40 attack and 15 boss damage. Oof. Not really that great, right? But hear me out, there's a solution. We can just re-equip the Arcane Shoulder and boom, our 3 set and 4 set effect are restored. And I would be only sitting at the 5 set effect here for the Eternals. But that's fine, right? That's fine. And that would probably, and hear me out, I'm not there yet, right? That would very likely, if you find comparable flames and comparable potentials, be better than having the Eternal Shoulder equipped. I am not there yet to absolutely confirm this. I was just looking at my own Maple Scouter here and I was shocked, right? I was shocked. And wow, yeah, the Eternal Shoulder is really, really terrible. And for now, I have to look at this entire situation here, as Germans would say, with one laughing eye and one crying eye. Because, of course, I'm happy that I hit an Eternal and got this to 22 stars, right? That's the laughing eye. But the crying eye also looks at this and says to itself, man, all the pieces that I spent to upgrade the Eternal Shoulder could have gone in the top and bottom, and I could have really made a reasonable, much more, effective gain here. And that's really what this video is about. Please don't do as I do, but do as I say. And I'm saying here that you really shouldn't be claiming shoulders from culling. And you know what? As soon as I hit this item and talked to people about it, people were like, yeah man, that's common knowledge. That's been common knowledge for like a year since this item has been introduced to the game. And to be honest, great, but that common knowledge didn't reach me. But now that you've seen this video, it did reach you. So, in conclusion, why is the shoulder so bad? It is bad because you're losing boss damage and the stats aren't too great on the one hand, and it's bad on the other hand because you more than likely, and I haven't confirmed this, will be using your Arcane Shoulder over the Eternal Shoulder as soon as you get one of the Limbo pieces to 22 stars. Yeah, and that's really, really sad. So, please guys, if you care about playing as efficiently as possible, just don't get the shoulder until your top and bottom are 22 stars. And that's really the message here. Alright, let's keep it short for this one. I have one more highlight to show you guys, but with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys around, probably next Thursday. Take care, and bye-bye.